Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah HaKodash, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazah from Nineveh 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be, And Then the End Shall Come. All right, now this lesson's coming through, the inspiration, as to seeing all the brothers out there, worldwide pushing this word. Starting here in Babylon, you got brothers in different states, pushing the word, from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down to, the different camps in Great Millstone, and then you have, you have like-minded brothers that's, also, pushing the word. Giving double honors and in the doctrine and sound. You know what I'm saying? Sound in the faith. And that's just Babylon. All right. Then you have the Akim that's coming up in Central America, South America, Latin America. You got the increase in Akim, coming up in Mexico. In the country of Mexico. In different parts of Mexico. You have Akim that's pushing in, South America, in the land of Asher. You might have brothers in the lands where Naphtali inhabit, which is Chile down to Argentina. And then you got the Israelite foreigners, in Europe. And you had a brother that was in Arabia. So hey man, this thing is kicking off. But at the same time, it's not, for the whole world, to be in this, to be following this. It's about the elect being sealed. All right, because one thing is, this thing is not about, a popularity contest. All right, this thing is exclusive, man. All right, Lord willing, we're of that number, man. We be of the elect. This thing is exclusive to the elect. All right, who are the 144,000. Okay. Of the children of Israel, 12,000 of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and it's a beautiful thing, witnessing everything coming together. Okay, because ultimately, with the elect being sealed, all right, and the more we progress in the times, basically, the more the things that's popping off, they say it's with the situation with the war in Europe, between Russia and the Ukraine, it won't be long until NATO gets involved. All right, which is already, if you look at the movement of their militaries, it's already gearing towards that direction. All right, and then you have, the looming crisis that's coming here in Babylon, concerning the famines, what I'm saying, and a lot of things. You have a civil war, and that's a vibration now. Elder Apostle Tahar came out, he did a lesson on that. How Donald Trump is calling for civil war. If I'm not mistaken, I believe, because I haven't seen the lesson, I just saw the title of it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's concerning, what he's tweeting about, which is, people will dismiss that, make it seem like it's not a big deal, but really that is a big deal, because, you got to understand, this devil is subtle. He's not going to come out and, outwardly declare, a civil war. All right. But at the same time, they're gonna, what I'm saying, go, through subtlety, and kind of remind, themselves what time it is, and this is more mainly like in the mid, low level, Edomites here in Babylon, that can sense, that their dominion is going, the glory, Babylon is not in its glory, as it used to be, and that's because Yahweh Shema Shai is about to, close up shop here, man. All right, this place had its function. All right, and the function was for our punishment of our iniquity, for turning our backs on Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, but with that being fulfilled, all right, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Israel, and will have mercy on Jacob, and yet choose Israel. All right, I gotta slow down. You know what I'm saying? I am in the freeway, but doing this little lesson in transit, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Let's go with the book of we're gonna start with the book of Lamentations, chapter 4. Just set down that foundation. Okay, and it reads, all right, the book of Lamentation, chapter 4, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. All right. So, as you could read, as I just read, Salakia, there is a time when the Lord is going to put us, basically, he's gonna undo the our punishment, which is slavery. It was slavery. We served slavery here in Babylon. Now the ropes are less hardcore, but they're more mental now. To where Esau, through his witchcraft, through his media. All right, he's basically, he got our people, going off by themselves, man. What the scripture says, woe to him that giveth his neighbors a drink and discovers his nakedness. And that's what Esau's doing. Programmed our people to be good slaves and whatnot. Go programmed our people, to be wicked. Which the 2/3, they not going, get this thing. They gonna receive it on when they come into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, this thing is for the elect, man, and that's why it's exclusive. All right, because Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is only dealing with the elect. He's gonna wake up the elect, and it's gonna be the elect and the 1/3 remnant that's gonna be delivered out of Babylon. All right, so I'm gonna read it again. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. All right, so that part right there. Okay, concerning the new bodies we're gonna be in. All right, after this go around, we're not gonna go into captivity anymore because we're not gonna be going off. All right, but guess who? But guess who's going into captivity? Esau, Edom, and not just him, but the other nations. Okay, not just the so-called white man, but these other nations, because they had a hand in our captivity. All right, continuing on, it says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom, and he will discover thy sins. Okay, so it says he will discover thy sins, because this devil has sinned against Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, against us. All right, all that destruction, all the wickedness that he's doing, destroying the earth, the witchcraft, the Satanism, you know what I'm saying, and just everything, man. And everything, this devil is wicked, and that's just his nature. He is the wicked. All right, he's the border of wickedness, pursuant to, if I'm not mistaken, the book of Malachi. All right, so continuing on. All right, another precept, which leads into this is going into Isaiah chapter 14. All right, because this is manifesting. Book of Isaiah chapter 14 and 1. For Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, so that shows you that the Lord, he's still going to deal with Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? He's still going to deal with Israel. All right, but it starts, the deliverance starts with the elect. All right, and then the rest of the nation, which is, the 2/3, and, those that are not going to make it, basically, they're going to be, reincarnated in the kingdom. All right, but they're going to be in the right state of mind. All right, they're not going to be wicked no more. You know, and that's just the mercy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, but you see all the prophecies that's taking place. You know, you just have Jamaica, you know, which is the tribe of Benjamin. You know, they one of the latest countries to accept the CD. What's it called? The central. Oh, sorry, the CBDC. All right, which stands for the Central Bank Digital Currency. All right, and you know what that's leading into. You know that's leading into the CHIP. All right, which is the Karagma. All right, that's what that's leading into, man. All right, these prophecies are unfolding, and the elect is being sealed. Okay, the elect is being sealed. All right, so continuing on, let me see another precept. Going to the book of Ezekiel 37. All right, because this is what's going on, man. All right, let me see. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. And you know what? I'm going to start at the top, man. All right, and it reads, the hand of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai was upon me. All right, or actually, before I go into this precept, I remember correctly, I was meditating on the topic. All right, we just set the foundation with Revelations chapter 11 and 8. Oh, sorry, not 11 and 8, 11 and 11. Where it reads, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life entered into them. All right, and that them is talking about the elect of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, and the spirit of life from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai represents His truth. Okay, because going into Abba Bivens, how he, the spirit, basically came on him, and he founded the One West schools, and from on down, it's basically history, man. From on down, now you have now you have Great Millstone, the apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this thing in all truth, sincerity, and diligence, 100% truth. And you have the like-minded brothers, man, like-minded camps out there, that's teaching the same doctrine. Okay, so it continues on and it reads, and the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood up upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So they stood up upon their feet, man, meaning they came out to teach. They took a stand and started pushing out this word, kind of like how, let me see if I could grab this real quick. Book of Isaiah, chapter 19. Let me see, 19 and 19, where it says, and in that day shall there be an altar to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai in the midst of the land of Egypt. All right, so it's gonna be, so that altar is talking about this truth, man. But more specifically, it's talking about brothers going out to the highways and hedges. Okay, because what the camp is set up, and the brothers is out there prophesying is basically an altar. It's a beacon of truth. It's a beacon of light. As it says, and a pillar at the border thereof to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that's what is taking place, or that's what has taken place. Brothers all over the states, you know what I'm saying, pushing the word in all truth, man. All right, verse 20, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai because of the oppressors. Okay, that's one of the key things, that one of the main reasons, why brothers come into the truth. Because we see that this is the land of our captivity. I was talking to a brother, the other day, and he said, like, yo, man, like, there's something wrong with this world. That's one of the things that, it's one of the driving factors in coming into the truth. It's really, it's all about predestination. It's Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai putting that spirit in us, because we was predestinated to come into this truth. But that's one of the factors, you know, that the Lord opened our eyes to see. You know, because not everybody, not all the tribes can see that they're being oppressed, man. You know, you got a lot of, you know, cheesehead jakes, man. Little, you know, jakes that just on a low vibration, low frequency. You know, scriptures, you know, brothers talk about, you know, a lot of people were born in vain because they're not doing anything, man. You know, you look at, you know, what Jake is doing, like, it don't really, you know, it don't really interest you, man. You know, there's really no purpose. You just go work 9 to 5, you know, turn up on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, low frequency things, man. You know, low frequency things. You know, but which, you know, we in captivity. You know, but we looking past all this, man. You know, see, this state that we're in right now is Jake's end all be all, man. This kingdom is Jake's end all be all. You know, have that white picket fence, that American dream, which shortly is going to turn into a nightmare. You know, it's not to be all over the place, man, but, you know, that's just going into, you know, that precept, man. We crime because of our oppressors, man. Because the whole world is laden in iniquity. All right, this devil is over here, you know, promoting and perpetuating more and more wickedness. Things are just becoming more wicked by the day, man. You know, the women out of order, the children growing up defiled, messed up, you know, confused. You know, they don't know if they're, you know, what gender they are. You know, we need deliverance. All right, let's continue on this. And it reads, and he shall send them a savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. All right, so that's what's getting ready to happen. All right, because it's not just about us, you know, opening up camps and then pushing the word, and this is just a platform for us to vent out, you know, our frustrations onto the world. No, man. All right, in a sense, you know, we do that. You know, that's what we're crying unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is. You know, but it's not going to stay like that forever, man. All right, it's not going to be a thing that, you know, brothers just come in and they just do, and then years pass by, and, you know, we still in the streets. No. Okay. No, which, you know, at the same time, it's not being, you know, in the spirit of impatience, you know, but it's more of a thing to where, it's more of a thing to where Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is getting ready to answer our prayers. All right, he's getting ready to answer and deliver us out of this place. You know, he's going to have mercy upon us. All right, so now we could go into Ezekiel 37. All right, everything's all through the spirit, man. So like, if it seems like, you know, I'm all over the place, you know, but everything's, you know, being tied up, you know. So Ezekiel 37, verse 1. And the hand of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and set me down in the midst of a valley which was full of bones. All right, so as you can see, you know, it's the Lord is basically giving them a vision, you know, a similitude, you know, a dark saying, if you will, because these Christians, they don't understand what this means, man. You know, they don't understand what this means. You know, these are the precepts that'll cut these Christians up, because the main thing they be going into is that John 3:16. You know, and that's just Esau's, you know, vain attempt to try to be, you know, included in the covenant, but he's not, man. All right, so this valley that was full of bones represents the state in which we were. All right, before we came into the truth, when we were in the world, all right, going about every wind of doctrine and committing, you know, all manner of wickedness and fornication, you know, adultery, you know, eating pork, you know what I'm saying, smoking weed, you know, smoking cigarettes, you know what I'm saying, living in, you know, too much mirth. You know, ain't nothing wrong with, you know, going out, you know, go to a spot, you know, you let off some steam, you know, but we're not going to be over here, you know what I'm saying, all invested in, you know, all joyful in mirth places, man, in places of mirth. You know, hey, you might dance with a chick, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know, you have fun, whatever, you know what I mean, but it's not a thing to where, you know, we seek that. You know, that's not our rest. You know, and that's why Esau does this cunningly, because to a lot of these modern day slaves, you know, that's their rest. You know, they get that paycheck, you know, and they put some money in the bank, they leave a couple hundred, and they go out and turn up, man. They turn up, they buy bottles, buy sections, whatever they do. You know, they do that, man. You know. Also, they could marry and give him to Mary. You know, be mirth. You know. Even you know, the Jake Stash, you know, in the street life, man, that's one of the driving factors. You know, so they could go out, ball out. You know, buy the VIPs, the super expensive bottles. You know. Pick up the women. You know, it's all in vain, man. It's all in vain. And when you really look at it, you know, it's low frequency, man. You know, it's really low frequency. All right. And it's not to say that in the kingdom we're not going to be turning up, but it's just in our captivity, you know, in the state that we're in, and you know, it's just low frequency, man. You know, but it's enough on that. You know what I'm saying? You know, the valley of dry bones, the elect, you know, not being in you know, before they woke up, basically, are being in the world. Verse 2, and it reads, and caused me to pass them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. All right, because you know, it was a time when we were discontinued from our heritage, and we could just pull that out real quick. Let me see. Discontinue. From thy heritage. All right, that's Jeremiah chapter 17. As the Spirit, I was already in that chapter, you know, when I opened the lesson up. All right, I'm gonna go right here. The book of Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4. All right, so like if I read it 4 and 17, you know, but yeah, the book of Jeremiah chapter 17 and 4. All right, it reads, and thou, even thyself. All right, who's this referring to? You tribes. All right, us. Even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. All right, so us being the children of Israel, our identity, who we are as a people, the law, statutes, and commandments, our land was discontinued from us. Okay? That's why we're here in Babylon. That's why you ask the average Jake, who are you? And you'll get 10 different answers, man. Even the Latin tribes. I once did that before. Oh, I'm human. That's the response I got. You know? It's a Latin tribe, you know, this was years ago. You know what I'm saying? He was walking by and, you know, I say, hey, you know, you Hebrew Israelite? You know, just to fish in. And his response was, I'm human. All right, man. Just keep it pushing. You know, because at the end of the day, we're not over here trying to win people over, man. This ain't no popularity thing. You know, this ain't about the numbers. This thing is exclusive. All right? It ain't about how big your church is, man. This thing is exclusive. Okay? So, you know, we established that part. You know, we discontinued from our heritage. All right, now cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. All right, so, hey. That is us right now. You know, discontinued from our heritage. All right, and serving our enemies in a land that we knew not, which is here in Babylon. Okay, because our original homeland was in Israel, man. All right, our original homeland is in Israel. Salakia. All right, but because we went off and we transgressed, you know, the Lord took us out of there. You know, through the diaspora, by ways of the diaspora, right? You had the Southern Kingdom that went to the west coast of Africa, and they, you know, they were brought over here. You know, as the time progressed, you know, you go into the transatlantic slave trade. They were brought over here on slaves, on slave ships, Salakia. All right, and then you have the Latin tribes, the Northern Kingdom, which is the Latin and so-called Native American tribes. All right, they you know were they came here, you know, in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, you know, during the Assyrian captivity. You know, they took counsel amongst themselves, and you know, they came over here. You know, and that's, you know, a thing too, that, you know, the Latin tribes and the so-called Native Americans, man, they really cleave onto, you know, this land. You know, you got a trend amongst the so-called Native Americans, you know, called a land back. You know, a land back. All right, just to pronounce it correctly, so brothers know, what I'm really, saying. But basically, oh my gosh, come on, man. These people can't drive, man. Continue on going. All right, so the land back. All right, and that's what they're going into, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're, bro. These fucking people, man. Salakia. People just put a car in there, cut people off. You know what I mean? But we're not. This place isn't the end all be all, man. This place ain't the end all be all. All right. Just gotta park somewhere right here. Gonna get the head back in the game. Let me see. Man, this place is full of parking. Ain't no parking over here. Oh, there we go. All right. So, that's just, the things that Jake, be on, in this society. They want to make it here. They want their land back or whatever. But this is not our homeland. All right. This place is slated for destruction. All right. But with the elect pushing the word, we're going to continue on reading Ezekiel 37. We're about to be delivered from here, man. All right. So verse 3, and it reads, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thou knowest. And again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, our power, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. All right, because this is basically a similitude. Okay, it's a similitude for the elect, as I explained earlier. All right, and that breath represents this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, and the reason, I will lay sinews upon you, and you will bring flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, which, you know what I mean, as, like some brothers, they like to say, man, a lot of Jakes, man, that's another thing too, man. You can't, be too lenient, on Jakes, because, yeah, they may know a thing or two, you know what I'm saying? They may know even their own nationality. They may know that, but if they're not teaching the correct doctrine and following after it, they don't got the breath in them. All right. Because, you got, levels of wisdom here, man. You got the gross darkness, which, it's all that left hand ideology, just Jake being stupid, and then you have the wisdom, and then in between that, you have, certain things that pertain to, basically having, a consciousness and knowing, a thing or two. But if you don't got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this doctrine, and you don't live after it, man, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't got no breath in you. All right, so verse 37, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a shaking noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld them, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, and there was no breath in them. All right, and then he said, which, that's another thing too, he basically has a corpse. Now, even if you know a thing or two, if you're not in the right doctrine, you're not in the sound faith, you're still a corpse, man. Verse 9, and then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man. All right, so let me tone down this AC. All right, and it reads, and thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. You see? So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Okay, so that's the elect, man. All right, that exceeding great army is the elect. And you see, all the brothers that's waking up all over the world. All right, even if it's, just one brother pushing in a whole city. What does the scripture say? Two of a house, one of a city. This thing is not about numbers, man. And that's the exclusivity of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's the exclusivity of salvation. Brothers got to count yourself, grateful that you're in this truth, man, and do everything you can to please Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, so verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. You see? So that's where, the similitude starts to be made plain. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith El Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, our power. Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. All right. So you see, that's what's going to happen. This thing, it ain't going to go on forever. It ain't going to go on for long. All right. We're just going to be in the highways and hedges. We're going to get old. You know what I'm saying? And then, the next generation is going to be up there. No, man. The prophecies, the end time prophecies are unfolding before our eyes. All right. Verse 13. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land, then shall ye know that I Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, have spoken it and performed it. Okay? Saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai came again unto me, saying, and this is another good one. All right? Hopefully, don't take up too much of the lesson time. But I also, through the Spirit, want to expound on this as well. Amos 9:11, the tabernacle of David being closed, the breaches being closed, Salakia. The tabernacle of David being rebuilt. All right. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, which is the southern kingdom, the so-called Negroes. All right. And for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Okay, so that's talking about the northern kingdom, which is the so-called Latinos and the so-called Native Americans that came here during the time of the Assyrian captivity. All right, over Samaria. That's what happened, and they came here. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13, 40 on down, goes in on that. All right. And it reads, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. All right, meaning that division, that hate, that discord that was amongst the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom is going to come together. All right, now in the world, you still have, just keeping it real, you still have Jakes that hate on the other kingdom. And I'm wording it like that because it's a two-way street. All right, you have so-called black people that hate on the so-called Latin tribes, and you have so-called, not just the Latin tribes, the Northern Kingdom. All right, and then you have so-called Hispanics and Native Americans that hate on the so-called blacks. And these people are going to be cut off, man. All right, you should have a genuine love for your brother. Okay, and understand that we're the same people. And this is primarily, going out towards, if any man in this truth, in this knowledge, has some type of animosity towards, his fellow brethren, if you don't repent, you're going to be cut off. All right, because you're in the wrong spirit. Okay? The precepts are plain. His ways are plain unto the just. And it's saying here that the tribes is going to come together, man. All right, so verse 18. And guess what? That love is going to rekindle. Okay? Now, it'd be crazy, in the world if some Jeroboam, Rehoboam, type of predicament happens amongst these 2/3. Who cares, man? But this is the house of David. We're not going to get mixed up in none of that. All right, Lord willing, we're of that number. Continuing on, and it says, all right, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and I will make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be thine hand, so like it shall be in thine hand before their eyes. All right, and say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, our power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Okay, and that's what's gonna happen. All right, and the chapter continues on that. I just wanted to bring that part out as well. To push that spirit of genuine love and reunification between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right, because there ain't gonna be no infighting, man. Okay, so continuing on with the lesson, that's actually another lesson in itself too. But continuing on with the lesson. All right, all things let me see, we're gonna go to the New Testament. All right, that's where the scripture that I'm looking for is in. Let me see, for good. There we go. So book of Romans chapter 8 verse 28. And it reads, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. All right, everything that's happening, that's another reason why, in the book of Matthew 24, it reads, be afraid, don't be faint, don't be dismayed at this kingdom, coming down. All right, because these things are working together for our good. All right, if we're of the elect, we're gonna be delivered out of it. We're gonna be put back in our own kingdom. And what has to happen before is this kingdom, which is Babylon, being taken down. All right. So continue on and reads, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, to them who are called according to his purpose. All right, and that's what was happening. Okay, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. All right, so these are the, the outcome. This is basically the outcome of the elect. All right, this is what is going into. All right, we've been predestinated, we've been called. All right, and guess what? We're gonna be justified, and in Lord willing, we're of that number. We're gonna be glorified, man. All right. So let me see. All right. And then shall with the end come. There we go. All right. So the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And I'm going to end it off with this. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right, which is the title. All right, this truth is all over the world. Okay, brothers waking up from all directions. All right, now the end is taking place. So with that, I'm going to say, Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Ba'ashim Rakha HaKodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. All right, with that, I'm going to say Shalom. On to the next.